2010's Rage, which was developed by id Software, was an interesting game. It delivered a Mad Max-esque wasteland portrayed from a first-person perspective. It was ultimately a fairly flawed experience featuring a somewhat bland story with equally bland characters. Rage 2, which is developed by both id Software and Avalanche Studios, looks to create a more chaotic and more enjoyable experience all around. It achieves this, though only in part. When the game starts, you are able to select either a male or female character, but no matter who you choose, you will play as Walker. And this somewhat mouthy and battle-ready soldier's home is attacked by a military force known as the Authority, which is headed up by one big ugly cyborg by the name of Gentle Cross. After surviving a brutal attack on their home, Walker sets out into the wasteland to gather forces and destroy the Authority once and for all. Rage 2's story is a fairly basic one, and it is suitable enough to set you on your way to shoot all the things. The characters that feature throughout the story aren't the most memorable either, and you'll most likely have forgotten them by the time you've finished off the campaign. The latter is pretty short too, and players should have no trouble getting through the game story in about 6 or 7 hours. Rage 2's gameplay is where the title really shines, but specifically the shooting mechanics. Shooting your way through groups of enemies is thoroughly enjoyable thanks to the game feeling somewhat similar to 2016's Doom. It's not as floaty or fast-paced as Doom is, but it's still pretty damn good. Adding to this, Walker has some powers thanks to the ranger armor that he wears. These powers make the combat a lot more interesting and allows you to decimate your enemies from up close. In fact, Rage 2 actually encourages this kind of in-your-face combat, and it's just so much fun to try out new powers or upgrade existing ones. New powers can be found in arcs located throughout the wasteland and can be obtained at almost any time, making traversing the map a must, even if it's just to upgrade your arsenal of powers. There's also an open world that you can explore, and this is aided by the fact that you have a vehicle at your disposal. Driving is simple enough, and there are weapons on your vehicle for any combat encounters. It's not as entertaining as the shooting mechanics though. Most of the time when I would be driving somewhere, I actually just couldn't wait to get to where I needed to be so that I can get into my next firefight. Rage 2 looks pretty good almost all of the time. This use of color and the lighting is implemented well, even in some of the darker areas. There's also a nice variety of enemy types in the world, ranging from normal human-sized enemies to massive towering mutants. The audio is pretty much on par with the game's visuals, featuring awesome sounding guns and some decent voice acting. Rage 2 is a decent sequel, even if it does have a few issues. The plot is fairly basic and the characters are pretty forgettable, which is kinda sad because I feel like this was one of the issues that the first game had. It's improved a bit, but not by much. The shooting is superb, and mixing it up using guns and Walker's powers make for an incredibly entertaining firefight every time. It is a pity that the driving sections aren't as great though, because this would have really enhanced the experience. It is a lot of fun though, despite its short campaign, and ultimately makes for some great over-the-top shooting. If you enjoyed this review, please hit that like button, and if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And if you got your hands on Rage 2, let me know what you thought of the game in the comment section down below. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time.